Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Creators Outlet. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Join us on YouTube and anywhere you can find us. Just look for us on Linktree, and you can find us on every source of social dysentery media. And we welcome our special guest today, Justin Belmont of Belmont Press. What's going on,
How you
man?
doing? How you doing, Will?
So tell me about you. What's your background in storytelling and comics?
I started collecting comics when I was about 15. It was the 80s. Around the same time, actually before that, I was collecting baseball cards. So what I would do is I would go to the comic book shop and buy my baseball cards. And then I would notice the comic books inside after a while. But I didn't buy one at that point. I just intrigued me. I just saw them, just walked by them. And I remember seeing Joe Jusko cover when I was a kid. It was a Punisher cover, and it was a Mike Baron comic actually. But I just remember the cover because the cover was Punisher was on a snowmobile, and there was like guys skiing coming at him from behind, and they had Uzis shooting at him. I just remember that cover, and so right there, that kind of like got my interest in comics. And then later on, I actually bought my first comic, which was New Mutants 87, the first appearance of Cable. It was a back issue, and it was stuck to like the window at some little boutique at the mall, and it was like $7 in the 80s. So I bought that book like as a back issue, and I believe that was my first comic book that I ever bought. But later on, I got into some indie stuff like Concrete, Madman, Cerebus. What else? Everybody back then had their own book like they do now. It was kind of like a renaissance for, the indie scene. Now it's like coming back like full circle. We got an indie scene that's back. That's even bigger than it was, I think, in the 90s when they formed Image and all that. So I grew up in that era. People say that was the end of the comic book era or whatever in the 90s. But I think there was some good stuff. I think the storytelling was lacking, but the artwork was right on.
Yeah, it's that's when Jim Lee screwed everybody that came on Batman afterwards from his big run where he started drawing the soles of Batman's boots, and now every artist has to draw the soles of Batman's boots. True story.
Yeah, I never saw that coming. Him selling Wildstorm to DC. I never saw that coming. That's crazy in itself. But there was, everybody had their own book back then. He had Wildcats, and then there was, Youngblood, and all that Image stuff. Savage Dragon, Supreme, the Max, all that stuff. I collected all that stuff, and then I got into Valiant Comics, is what I really liked because they had good artwork, and then they also had the good story. So it was a perfect mix.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the Image stuff, was mainly like pinups and stuff, and gatefold covers, and spread
gimmicks,
2 double-page spreads. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of gimmicks. But the artwork was cool, and that's what I liked. So I bought it just because of the artwork when I was a kid. But later on, I wanted a good story, so I actually got into to the Valiant stuff. And I remember, walking to the store, to the comic book shop, about 2 miles maybe. On a nice summer day, you walk to the comic shop, and then you get your fix. Go in there, bought some Valiant titles. Barry Windsor Smith, I remember seeing him on the shelf, and I knew at a young age that he was a brilliant artist. I knew there was something about him, and he's still to this day, he's my favorite artist of all time. And then I guess I got out of comics for a little bit, and I ended up moving from New York to Denver in the year 2000. So I was a 22-year-old kid moving out on his own. And then I kind of like didn't have time for the comics thing and stuff. I was like more worrying about paying my rent. Didn't have much money, And then later on, I started my own business for my brother, and that went well. And then I was able to actually, do this comic book because I had the extra money. I put all the money together, and I paid everybody. So everybody's paid off and everything is completed. Not everybody can say that right now for their campaigns. Some people are 50% done, 30% done, or people that are done that are not shipping. I'm going to try to avoid all those issues. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to try to get these books to you guys by the end of August. That's what my campaign says. It says August 2022, and that's my goal. I mean, it's possible that you guys might get it in September, but I want to get these books to your hands in the summer. I think it's a good time to get a good quality comic book in your hands. And so I've been working hard on these books, man. About 3 years of development. I mean, not constant 3 years because there was a lot of, waiting on artists and stuff like that. But the total time, 3 years to complete this, make all the model sheets, design all the logos, buy your LLC, set up your bank account, design your campaign page, come up with origin stories for your characters, all that stuff, and then you got a life going on. So you don't have like every hour of the day working on that stuff. So it's a lot of work, especially for one person. If you had a whole team, you could probably get it done a lot quicker, but I just decided to do everything pretty much myself. But I can't draw though. I mean, I tried to be an artist when I was a kid and it didn't quite work out, but I did create this character. I sketched him out one day after getting high. So around the same time that I discovered comic books, I discovered marijuana.
Well,
so around the same time.
That goes good with Sim's comment. So, and he's an hour behind us, so it's 4:20 by him.
Yeah, he lives in the country of weed.
Yeah, country of weed and snow. Yeah,
and snow.
So this is your first campaign.
Yep.
You're at 123% of your fixed goal. 114 backers, only 34 hours left.
Yep, this is my second 30 days too.
So you've extended once. So the first big question: are you looking at leaving the campaign up after it completes in the for the store?
I'm probably going to go in demand if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I just know what it. I know it is a storefront. So
yeah, this is my first time. It's actually 2 books. When you read both books, you're going to get the complete story. So there's a little bit, a little bit unknown. And when you read Smokes, and then later on when you read Weaponized Werewolf, it makes a little bit more sense. So I decided to do that because instead of doing one big book and waiting on my penciler to do one page at a time, I decided to, make Weaponized Werewolf as a companion book to expand upon the story, and I can have a second artist draw that. And then I thought it would be cool, you can get 2 comic books written by Mike Barron, and I thought, maybe I'd hit a home run with that. It's a different, it's a little bit different. And I got a lot of quality talent, a lot of vets, a lot of legends. I got Bob Layton, Don Perlin, Gerhard. Gerhard actually helped me create the redesign of Smokes. So I created Smokes when I was younger. If you scroll down, you can see how I drew him back then. Just a little bit down further down here. Yeah, a little bit further. Right there. So that's how I used to draw him. I wish I got to find another drawing that I drew of his whole head, but right here he just has his eyes. But you can see his pipe back then is just a simple pipe like that, straight pipe with an X on it. And I was thinking, the pipe needed some kind of design on it, but I didn't want it to be, like a elaborate design, something simple from far away you can see. So I just said, I'm going to throw an X on there, Brand X Company or whatever made that pipe. And then he smokes weed out of that pipe. So I came up with this whole background story where the original story for Smokes was he was in a park one day and hanging out, and there were some teenagers at this park, and Smokes was just a regular fox just walking around, and these teenagers were at the park, and it was after dark, and you're not supposed to be at the park after dark. So these cops roll up and say, "Hey kids, what the hell are you doing?" They were smoking pot out of that pipe. and they threw the pipe behind the tree, and then Smokes, later on sniffed the pipe, and he transformed into, a half human, half. That was the original story, like kind of like a Turtles ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, that was my idea, but later on, I changed the story. So how it goes now is I gave him a little bit of an upgrade. His pipe now has a fancier pipe, like a Sherlock Holmes type deal. I spent a lot of time with Gerhard on that pipe. I really want him to have like a fancy pipe. And then I upgraded his outfit. I told Gerhard that I want him to have a Nam outfit, a Nam top. I'm a big fan of like those movies, those like Born on the 4th of July, Full Metal Jacket, Platoon, stuff like that. I really like the uniform. I thought the World War II, Saving Private Ryan, whatever. I liked the uniform. Actually, Saving Private Ryan wasn't Nam, was it? No.
No. That was World War II.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I like the Nam outfit, And I thought it looks cool with the rolled up sleeves.
Yeah.
Originally, he wore a wife beater and a hoodie, so I thought he needed something different, to stick out a little bit more. And originally, he didn't have any pants, like Winnie the Pooh. He just wears a fucking top.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I was getting the cover drawn, Don Perlin would not draw my character without pants on. He's like, "You got to put pants on that thing." And then I said, all right. And then we compromised. We went with shorts. Then he came up with those shorts with the stripe on the side. So that's kind of how the redesign of the character went. And then I came up with a new backstory for him. I was smoking weed one day, and I came up with an idea for a backstory. I can't tell you the complete idea, otherwise it'll kind of give away the whole story. But Smokes was a lab-created creature. Weaponized Werewolf is another lab-created creature. You can see them both right there. Smokes is the most intelligent. He's so intelligent, he's able to escape the facility that he's in. And they're in this facility that's underground on the New Mexico-Colorado border. If you're familiar with UFO lore, it's called Dulce Base. It's also known as it. It's kind of like Area 51 underground.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
So if you heard of that, you might have heard of Nightmare Alley or Nightmare Row, whatever they call it, where supposedly there's aliens working and doing experiments on humans, stuff like that. And there's people that came out that said they worked there, and there's crazy shit going on. And so I kind of took that lore. So in this place, I call it Project Minotaur. So Project Minotaur is my Dulce base, basically. It's located where Dulce base should be, or they say it is. And in this base, there's this alien known as Sepoy. If you scroll down, you'll see Sepoy down a little bit further. But he's an alien gray, a typical alien gray, and he kind of runs the show underground in this facility. And because of his technology, they're able to make, there he is right there. Because of the technology that he has, they're able to create these half human, half animal hybrids. And they keep them locked up in cages. And Smokes and Weaponized Werewolf, they're just staring at each other, just hate each other's guts. Because that werewolf doesn't have any personality. He's just a killer. There's no, he doesn't laugh or joke around or anything like that. He just kills whatever's in his path. So what happens is Smokes is a smart. He gets privileges. He gets a laptop. He gets TV privileges. He watches a lot of TV. He learns how to speak the language. He absorbs it really quickly because he's very intelligent. And then he's able to he gets into like shows like Sons of Anarchy and American Chopper. So he likes motorcycles and stuff like that. But he knows he wants to get free. He doesn't want to be in this cage locked up. So he's able to bypass the security on his gate that's holding him in his cell, and then he's able to escape. And I don't want to tell you exactly how he does it, but he gets out and he gets free. And then that guy right there, Colonel Mayberry, you see in that picture, he makes the worst mistake of his life, and he makes the order saying, let's let Weaponized Werewolf go, and let's sick him on Smokes and have him eliminate him, because Smokes is now is now going to expose the whole program.
Yeah, he's a threat now.
Yeah, but why would you let a werewolf go, a killing werewolf, to go take care of your problem? Why didn't you take care of your problem on your own? So that was kind of the worst mistake he's ever made of his life. So that's kind of how the story starts. And then Weaponized Werewolf is a supplementary book where you read it after Smokes. And when you read both books, you'll get like the full picture of what's going on. So some things are left out of Smokes that'll make sense when you read the other book. And that Smokes in disguise. No one knows, he's a pot smoking fox, hanging out by the bar.
He's just some dude with a big nose and a lot of facial hair.
It's hard to hide that snout.
Yeah.
And then this scene right here is after he escapes. He runs into some campers, some teenage stoners, and they're camping out in Colorado. And he goes inside their tent after they fall asleep, and he grabs their stash, their wallet, their lighter. And then you can see he gets high for the first time right there. And then he gets so high that he sees purple pandas.
Instead of pink elephants. That's funny.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of humor in there. Mike wanted those pandas in there. Specified purple pandas. And then he gets hungry, of course. You can see in the last panel he's holding his stomach. And then this is a later scene where he's at the bar. It's hard to see right there, but he's in that second panel in the bar with a hoodie on. With a trench coat. And then these two rival gangs start going at it. And Mike wanted like one of the guys to be flying across the last panel like that. I thought it came out really nice, this page.
Yeah.
DC Alonso did the colors for my work, for both of my books, the interiors. He just got hired by Marvel today. He just announced on Facebook that he got hired by Marvel. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but
wow,
he's a really good talent. I had to wait, a little bit to get him, but
it's probably the last indie project he'll be working on for a long time.
I think he'll do some stuff for me, maybe here and there. He's gonna do a pinup for me next week.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, soon he's gonna be so busy I won't be able to get a hold of him. It's like, what? I'm coloring the Hulk. Get the fuck out of here.
Poor guy if he has to work with Donny Cates. Oh my god.
I think he already did.
Oh.
But he doesn't have any grudge against anybody. He lives in Spain somewhere. He doesn't care about politics or anything like that. He just wants a color.
He does. He's
a really good guy.
He does everything online and sends them in.
That's the Tim Vigil cover right there. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Oh yeah. I'm like, wow, this is a bloody one. And then I saw Tim's name on a perk, and I'm like, oh man, he's got like everybody from the '90s working on his books. Yeah, I'm a '90s fan. I love Tim's work. I know he draws a really good werewolf, and I was thinking, besides Bernie Wrightson, who else draws a really good werewolf? And that was two names came to mind: Kelly Jones, which I know is really busy and would be really hard to get a hold of. I waited like over a year or 2 years actually for a commission from Kelly Jones. That's how busy he is. But he gave me like the most amazing commission I've ever seen in my life. So it was well worth it. He's a great guy. And then the next person I came up with was Tim Vigil. And I like his werewolves. I've seen him around. Like if you Google a werewolf Tim Vigil, you'll see some of his stuff. And I thought he draws a really cool werewolf. So I was like, hey, I got this project coming out. And I messaged him on Facebook, and he liked the idea of it. And I told him that basically the werewolf's going to be killing this one guy, and it's going to have an eagle on the ground, and that's it. That's the only instructions I give him. So he came up with the blood and the guts coming out and all that. That's all him. Yeah, this cover is screaming Faust. That was his huge book back in the 90s was Faust. And you're familiar with Kyle Ritter, right? I know the name, yeah. Yeah, the guy who does the coloring on Cyberfrog. Oh, yeah.
And
I knew I knew.
one day he was on Twitter and he posted that he's doing cover commissions for colors. And so I definitely hit him up on that because I just got this cover and I was like, hey, Kyle, would you color this? This is a Tim Vigil cover. And the story behind this cover is when it was black and white before I got colored, I sent it to Mike Barron, right? After I got it from Tim. Mm-hmm. And Mike Barron went and posted it on Facebook. I told him not to post it. And then the next day he goes and posts it. Then he sends me a message and he's like, hey, Justin. I'm like, what? Shane Black wants to buy your comic book. And I was thinking, Shane Black? What the hell is he talking about? Then I realized he posted my thing up and the director of Predator liked my comic book.
Holy crap.
The original Predator, you know what I mean? The good one.
Yeah.
He did the first two, I think. He was actually in the first movie as well as an actor. But anyway, I got like a big head, or not a big head, but I got like, gassed up because of that. It kind of made me feel good. I never put a comic book out, and then I got a comment from a movie director that they were wanted to buy my comic book.
That's awesome.
But it took me so long to put out that comic book. I've been working on it since 2018 in November. That, you know what I mean? A lot of people just forgot about it because it took me so long to develop it. And that's why I didn't want Mike to post it online yet, because it was too early. I wasn't ready. But this is Barry McLean's art for Weaponized Werewolf. He's a rising artist. He just did a comic book called Billy the Kit. It's in comic book shops right now. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's like a bunny rabbit western, spaghetti western. It's like a rabbit character, kind of like my character, but a rabbit. And he has 6 shooters. It's a really popular comic book. It's with Justin Gray. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah, I know Justin, yeah.
Yeah. So that book is out right now, and I got him. I told him, I said, hey, I got this werewolf comic book. He's really big into horror. And since he's already working with Mike Barron, have you heard of Cue Ball?
Mm-hmm.
Cue Ball is another comic book Mike Barron's doing, and that's Barry McLean artwork. So Cue Ball is coming out later this year, I believe. So nice. He's actually my next door neighbor. I found that out later on too. So this artist is very close to me.
Literally.
Look at the art. Amazing stuff.
It looks so good, dude.
And the colors. He did such a good job on those colors.
So you get the Red Baron. You got Lee Oaks.
Yeah, Lee Oaks is a friend of Mike Barron. He lives out in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You know Popeye's Chicken, the chicken joint. One time they had a comic book included in their kids' meals, I guess, and Mike Barron wrote an issue for that kids' meal, and they broke it up into 4 comics. Like they made them like 4-page comics, whatever, with different covers, but one story when you get them all. And Mike Barron wrote the story, and Lee Oaks did the illustration. It was called High Roller, HI-Roller, or High Rollers, one of those.
High Roller, yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny. I think Mike was trying to make it like a weed joke in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if he came up with the name or not. But he told me, this artist is really good. He'll be good for your book. So I originally hired Lee Oaks to do all my model sheets before I even started my comic. So anybody out there is, starting a comic book, I recommend that after you get your script, you get it edited. And then once you get it edited, that you get your model sheets made. And I also recommend that you get those model sheets in color. I did them black and white. And I kind of skipped the color part, and I wish that I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then once you get these characters, you can plop them in your world because you got what they look like, what color jacket they wear or their uniform or whatever it is, their outfit. And you got everything mapped out. Then you can put these characters in your world, whatever world that is. My world is just the regular, Earth, modern day. It's not some different faraway universe in a galaxy far, far away or anything like that. It's just here. And yes, Rodney Ramos, like I said before, I was a big fan of Valiant. So I hired Rodney Ramos to do the inks. And he's been inking for 30-something years.
Yeah.
He's
Ninja.
he's good.
Before they called him Ninja K.
Is that what they call them now?
That's what they call them now, because it's supposed to be like a project now, not just one guy.
Hi, Miss Raina. I didn't even see her say that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he worked on Batman, Punisher War Journal. So he worked with Red Baron quite a bit. And
Yeah,
DC Alonso, I got a bunch of his work over here because I've got all the Star Trek books from IDW. So
he's a really nice guy. I was just talking to him the other day.
And he worked with Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan and Rich Meyer on Expendables Go to Hell.
Yeah, he'll work with anybody. Like I said, he doesn't care about politics or anything like that. He just wants to color, and I admire that.
Yeah, Kurt Hathaway that worked on Youngblood.
Yeah, Kurt Hathaway is actually doing the letters for Black Flag for Dan Fraga.
Oh, nice.
So Dan Fraga was hired by. Did you hear the story about Dan Fraga?
I've heard lots of stories about Fraga.
Yeah, well, he was going to go into the military or whatever. I forgot which branch. It might have been the Navy. And then right before he signed up, Rob Liefeld called him up and said, "Hey, you want to draw comics for me? I'm starting my own thing." And then shortly after they hired him, they hired Kurt Hathaway later on. And Kurt Hathaway actually designed the Black Flag logo. And Kurt Hathaway designed Smokes logo. And Kurt Hathaway designed the Weaponized Werewolf logo. And lots of stuff for Rob Liefeld. I mean, most of his extreme logos were created by Kurt. And then Kurt was an editor at Image for 5 years. And he wrote a couple issues of comics. Not too many, but just a couple here and there. So he's a good editor. So he edited Mike's script. He did a good job on it. You know, make sure everything makes sense. Everything, you know, there's no plot holes or anything. You got to make sure. You got to get somebody who has an outside view of your book. You don't want somebody who's going to kiss your ass. You want someone to tell you, "Hey, this fucking shit sucks," or "This needs to be changed." You need somebody to tell you the truth, not some bullshit. You know what I mean? You got to. I recommend an editor after you get your script, for sure.
I've seen books without editors. Oh, man.
Even if you got Mike Barron, you get an editor. I don't care who you got. You got Chuck Dixon, you get an editor.
Editors are essential.
And then after that, I recommend get the model sheets, and then, you know, find an artist that you want, an artist that will represent your characters, will draw them how you want them drawn. And it's kind of getting difficult now because all the good artists are getting snatched up. Mm-hmm. And there's so many books coming out right now. There's not enough artists, I don't think, to even meet the amount of books that are coming. So if you could find a good artist, I mean, God bless you, because they're hard to come by now.
Yeah, you should know. You got a bunch of them here.
And I had to wait on them. And see, Bob Layton, I know Bob Layton because I've hung out with him a few times at the shows. You know, I go up to his table and hang out at his table for a little bit. I'll see him in Vegas at the show. Then I saw him in Denver, and then I saw him in a couple of different states, California. So I used to go to all these conventions, and I would, you know, get like a commission from him, a headshot here or there. And then I asked him one time, I said, "Hey, I got a comic book I'm working on. Would you want to, you know, be a part of it?" And he goes, "You know what? Sure, something small." And I said, "All right." And then later on, when I got Don Perlin to pencil, I figured I can get, you know, Bob to ink it because he's worked with Don Perlin before.
Oh, yeah.
And they both live in Florida, both Florida men. And so I just did that. So when Don Perlin was done with the cover, he just mailed it to Bob, and then Bob did the inks. And that's how I got the cover. So I was able to land two legends. Those guys are the creators of Bloodshot right there.
Yeah. You get the creators of Bloodshot, you know, Don Perlin with Ghost Rider, Bob Layton with Iron Man, Gerhard working with Dave Sims on Cerebus, Tim Vigil, of course, with Faust and many other horror books, Kyle Rigger on Cyberfrog, Zesis on Door Kickers, Peter Palmiotti. Yeah, I know that guy. For Retro, and Bruna Costa from Snowfall,
she's a really good talent. If you haven't heard of her, she's really good.
And so you got quite a list there. No wonder why it took you 3 years in development.
Yeah, this right here was the metal trading card that I was giving to the first 90 physical backers.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm already past that, they're all sold out. But I'm going to include that image right there inside, probably Weaponized Werewolf in the book, so you can see it. But that was the card right there.
That was the card. We don't want to focus too much on that because
No,
if you haven't got it now,
yeah,
you're
they're
not
sold
gonna.
out. I don't want to tease everybody out there. They're sold out.
We got signed original art.
Yeah, I still got some pages left. So someone wanted the first appearance of Weaponized Werewolf. It would be the first appearance. Like this page right here, it has the first appearance of Mayberry. You got the first appearance of Weaponized Werewolf. You got the first appearance of Sepoy. And you got right here. You got sketch cards, $25 a pop, and you're gonna get a random card. So it's either gonna be Lee Oaks or Barry McLean. And those are the interior artists. So, and they did a good job on those. And if you're a motorcycle man, you can get the Smokes plate. It's a really strong aluminum, and it's got the holes in it. You can actually. Someone said they're going to buy one. They're going to mount it on the back of their motorcycle and take a picture of it and send it to Mike. So Mike's really big with motorcycles, and that's why another reason why we got Don Perlin. He did Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. And Mike actually put the werewolf in the story because I told him that Don Perlin was going to be drawing the cover. So he wrote that character in. And plus, Smokes needed an enemy, a nemesis or whatever. So, but he just gave me a description, werewolf, like a Bernie Wrightson werewolf. And that was the only description he gave. And one night I just came up with the name Weaponized Werewolf. I thought it sounded cool. I know it's kind of long. The word weaponized is a little bit of a long word, but I thought it sounded cool together, so I kept it. And then this right here, wait, what?
The neck gator with the wraparound art?
Yeah, that's the Gerhard cover. It's basically just the full cover without the logo. I cut a little bit of the cover on the top. There's some bats that got cut off because that didn't look right with those bats up there. So It's basically like 95% of the cover, I guess you can say. So it's basically a print. So if you didn't want to wear this on your face, I know not everybody's going to want to go to fucking Walmart wearing a pot smoking fox on their face. But if you want to keep it as like a collectible, it's like a cloth print of the cover. So it's pretty cool.
Bottle opener. Who doesn't need a bottle opener?
Yeah. See?
Oh, yeah. Let's blow you up there. Nice.
But yeah.
It's Smokes taking a leap behind a tree.
Yeah. Someone told me it was the first peeing cover.
It might be.
I had an idea where I was going to make the piss glow in the dark. Would you buy that?
You know how many people would want that cover?
My wife said no.
Well, that's the end of that.
That's just an idea. But this right here is a double-sided Gerhard bottle opener. And I sent that to Gerhard as a gift, and it cost me almost $15 to ship to Canada. And that's why I decided not to ship to Canada or Mexico or UK or Australia or anywhere like that. Yeah. Until I get enough backers to offset the cost. I'm going to have to stay, domestic shipping right now. But I do have a digital tier. So if anybody, down under or across the pond wanted to get something.
Yeah. The digital tier is called the Australian tier.
Yeah, the Australian tier.
Because it costs $20 to ship one book to Australia. So.
And I don't want to do that to everybody and charge them and say $30 shipping costs more to ship it than the damn book costs.
Yeah, usually that's the cutoff rate.
Yes.
For people overseas. If the shipping costs more than the actual book, then a lot of people are out, and they're saddened by that because they want the actual physical copy. But
if you scroll on a little bit,
yeah,
these are the first stretch goals. So what happened is we just hit 6K a little while ago, and so we unlocked the smoke sticker by 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 7K we get that beautiful weaponized werewolf sticker. You scroll down a little bit more. There's like 2 more stickers I wanted to get to. So I got 4 made by 6 a.m. And you can see his take on the characters. I thought he did a pretty cool job, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's that guy right there with the shotgun and the glasses.
Yeah.
That's Colonel Mayberry without his military uniform on. This guy right here is John Bauer. I don't want to tell you too much about John Bauer, but he is important, has an important part in the story. You will see him from page 1 on when you read Smokes. And you can get a hint about his personality or whatever. You can see that he's an outdoorsman, and he's also either a cop or a former cop. I just read that last one. I thought it was funny.
Baron and Belmont Smoke Up Live.
Yeah.
Somebody hurry up and buy all the original art.
Can you guys,
left. We might get there.
Can you back 10 times over so I can get there?
Yeah. And it's like, you know, put it in tip for like 30K because we want to.
I didn't know how it was gonna go, so I put all these stretch goals. I didn't know if I was gonna, fund or I was gonna hit 50 grand. I really did not know how this was gonna go, man. But
so
I think I did all right for my first time. I didn't spend any money on marketing. I didn't get keywords on Facebook or anything like that. My marketing is me in front of this $35 camera that I bought on eBay. That's my marketing.
It's been working.
So
you have your featured tier is an epic bundle. It's 19% off right now, so it's only $125. There's only 6 of them left.
Yeah, this is if you want everything. So if you want the license plate that I showed you, and the license plate is cool. If you don't want to, I know not everybody's going to want to put it on their motorcycle or whatever, but if you want to slap it on your refrigerator, it comes with mountable magnets. You peel the sticker and you slap it on the back so you can make it into a big magnet.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4x7. So if you went to the DMV and got a license plate for your motorcycle, it's the same size. So, or you can just keep it as a collectible and not use the magnets and just put it in like a backing board and whatever in a bag in a board and just put it in your long box or whatever.
Yeah. And
then you get the bottle opener and you get the neck gaiter and you get the mystery gift. And those are really, 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 really rare, even rarer than the 90 metal cards that I had made. So I'm trying to keep everything really rare in the future. Who knows? It might be worth something, if this goes big. But you also get the sketch card. You get a random sketch card like I was showing you earlier. And then also you get all three covers, and they're all signed.
Awesome.
So I'm going to sign all 3 of them, and then Mike Barron's going to sign all 3 of them. And then the artist Barry McLean and Lee Oakes are all going to sign them. I wasn't going to add this tier at first, but since all my guys are in Colorado, I can get it done. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Otherwise, I don't recommend you do it because you got to mail off comics to somebody, then they're going to have to sign them, then mail them back to you. Then you got to mail them out to somebody else again. Chances are they're not going to stay mint. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of movement. But I can just go next door and get the signatures for Weaponized Werewolf. So
the Australian variant.
Yeah, that's my Australian tier right there. $12. I don't know how much it is in AU dollars or whatever it's called. Ingaroo. What's Bancroft call it?
Bogan bucks? I don't know.
Dingaroos or something. I forgot what the hell he calls it.
Dingaroos. It might actually be worth more than the U.S. dollar currently. So
it probably every dollar is worth more than ours.
Yeah, except for Venezuela.
Venezuela. I'll try to make it pretty simple. So the first tier is you want the main cover and you get Weaponized Werewolf. And then that's Legendary Pack A. And I have the option to sign them. Someone told me that I should give the option to sign them, and it's no extra cost. So if you want both these books right here signed, so it gives you a little bit of extra value. And if you don't want them signed, no big deal. And that's B, Legendary Pack B. If you want the peeing cover.
It would have been more attractive with the glow in the dark stream, but your wife said no, so that's.
I'll make a limited edition one when she's asleep.
A little glow in the dark paint on the cover will be
I don't know. How would that go? Would actually someone buy a glow-in-the-dark piss cover? Would that be a top seller?
There's such a huge speculator market. Anything that's a gimmick on a cover, like in the 90s, usually sells well.
Yeah, if you don't know which cover you want, you can get both covers here, and then you get Weaponized Werewolf as well for $40. And I'll sign those too if you want. So it's a drop down if you want me to sign it or not for each book.
Yep. And all 3 covers signed is $65.
Yeah, that's signed 9 autographs total.
Oh, that's everybody signing them.
Yeah, so Mike Barron, you're gonna get 3 signatures from Mike on each book, 1 on each book. So, and then I'll sign all 3, and then the interior artist. So it's a pretty good deal. It's $10 shipping, so it's $75 even.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then I have a bulk retailer tier, but no one's bought one yet. But I haven't really marketed it. I didn't really know what to do with it. I might have too high of a price. I don't know. It's kind of weird with my book. My book is 2 books in one. So it's kind of weird.
That's right on par. Yeah, because you're giving them 10 smokes. You're doing 5 sets.
Yeah, 5 sets, and they get to pick what smokes covers they want. So if they want 5 of the same cover, like the peeing cover, they can get all 5. If they want to get 3 of them, they can get 3. So they can get mix and match their smokes covers, and then they'll get 5 copies of Weaponized Werewolf. I couldn't think of any other way to do it. It's weird because I got 2 comics, so it's a little bit different. And then I got the original art tiers.
So there's 5 of these available. Are these specific pages that you guys picked out, or is it just kind of like a random thing?
The artist kept some of their pages, and I have a good selection of them.
Okay.
I have really good good pages. What's going to happen is after I go into fulfillment, this guy here that back is going to see all the images that I have, because I don't want to show them now, because then they can get out there and kind of spoil my book or whatever, spoilers. Mm-hmm. So I'll show them during fulfillment, and I'll say, which page do you want? This is what I have. And then he'll get first pick. And then if somebody out there right now wanted the back smokes page, you're going to get second pick. And if you scroll down, you got the Weaponized Werewolf page, and someone bought one of those, so that guy is going to get first pick. But the Weaponized Werewolf page is a little bit different than the smokes pages because they were done non-traditionally. So the penciler did the pencils on a board, right, like normal. Mm-hmm. But instead of inking on that original board, the inker was sent the file, and he blue lined it on another board. So you get 2 pieces of matching artwork for the same page. Like see that picture right there? You can see the pencils on the left and the inks on the right.
Yeah. So
that you'll get that pair, and they're both signed, and there's no shipping on these art tiers.
So that's a 2-for-1 deal right there.
So it's $10 more than the smokes pages, but yeah, you just get the same page, but the pencils and the inks.
Yeah, you get the pencils, and then you get the inks on a separate page.
Yes.
So you're paying $75 a page instead of $150. Look at it that way.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. And then Mike Barron signed all these pages, and then I added this new one right here. I just added this yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday. It's a Tim Vigil cover prelims, that cover you were just talking about with the guts ripped out of that poor hunter. So it's 2 prelims. They're 8.5 by 11 on art paper, and one of them is mostly just pencils on the left, and then the other one is inks, and they're both signed by Tim Vigil. And I wanted to sell them as a pair because I think they should be together and not broken up. Mm-hmm. I do own the original art for the cover, so I'm willing to let the prelims go. I think there's some Tim Vigil collector out there that might want these.
And how are you going to argue with a price that says $420?
So $210 a piece, no shipping. It's not bad actually for a cover prelim. And you know how much a cover costs nowadays, like $1,000. So these prelims are Yeah, these prelims, I mean, $1,000 for like, a lower end artist. If you're going for like a top tier, you can pay up to 10, 20 grand for a cover.
Mm-hmm. It depends how hot the artist is right now in the in the market. So
yeah, so it's the prelim to this one. Someone out there, I think, is going to want it. And someone might make a couple dollars on it in the future, but I need to get rid of it because I need to raise money for a script to start my next book. I was hanging out with Mike last weekend. There was a show. It was called the Wicked West Comic Expo.
Oh yeah,
and it's right in Mike Barron's backyard in Colorado. So I just went there and spent the weekend at his table, and we talked about it. And but we haven't started the script yet. We're just brainstorming right now. But I want to raise some more money. I'm hoping to hit 7,500 is my new goal for this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can get there, in another month or so. We'll see. But I want to unlock at least the weaponized werewolf sticker at 7K.
Yeah.
So you get both. I mean, I thought, look at this comic, man. It's beautiful. Look at those colors.
Yeah, it's just sick.
It's
lots of top name talent all over both these books. So
I did the best I could. I asked other artists, and I got turned down. I didn't get everybody I wanted. I've asked a few other artists, and it's not the easiest sell, coming out of the blue and saying, "Hey, I got a fox that rides, motorcycles and smokes pot. You want to draw my cover?" It depends, Then what I showed, you got to have the humor in you. You can't be that serious. A serious artist will tell you to get the hell out of here, kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just some panels from the interiors.
Very nice. So there's only like a day and a half left on this.
Yeah, there's only hours left. I think less than 40 hours now.
Yeah, 33 hours left. So
yeah.
There's the eagle that ends up dead on Tim Vigil's cover.
Yeah, he was poaching in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So you guys still have time to get in on this. It's Justin's first book, and he's kicking some major ass for your first book being you're already up to 6K. So
yeah, I've been hustling, man. I've been doing shows every day, 6 days a week. I got 4 streams set up today. I'm going to do one in a half hour, and then I'm going to do 2 more tonight. So you just got to keep at it. You got to just get as many shows as you can. You got to promote, and that's what you got to do. You got to live, breathe comics. You got to love them.
Oh, for
and
sure.
You need a lot of money.
You need a lot of backers to believe in your vision.
And people got to like you, I guess, too. You got to sell yourself too. You're not just selling this comic book,
Yeah, it's a tricky slope, but when you get a solid piece of work like you have here, the book kind of sells itself. And you're a nice guy. You get your nice green screen in the back with your characters going.
Yeah, always try to look professional, or try to do the best you can. I mean, I got this green screen for $60 on Amazon. It wasn't that big of a with the camera and the green screen, it was less than $100. So it doesn't cost a fortune to look professional. You know what I mean? I think it's cool to have a good, something cool in the background or whatever. I was kind of jealous of everybody else's background, so that's why I got the green screen. But
everybody's like, "Oh, you're in a comic book warehouse." I go, "No, I'm in my apartment."
Yeah, but some people, you got cool stuff in the back. I got an exercise bike in the back. No one wants to see that.
I got a stripper pole behind me, but I got no stripper on it. My girlfriend says I can't take him home from work no more. But I want to wish you, all the best of luck. I know you got to get going. So you got to prep for another show. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap this, and I will download the audio and the video, and I'll pop this up onto my Spotify platform as well, so you'll be able to download this or listen to it anywhere you get a podcast. So
cool.
we want to thank you for coming on, and definitely come back and see us again. Hit me up and let me know how DM me and let me know how it wrapped up in the next over the weekend, and see what goes for there. Because I'm excited to see, hopefully that you make that 7K, so you have 2 6 a.m. stickers to give out to all the backers.
I have a couple backers that are like on hold that there's something wrong with the processing, so I got a little bit of higher total than it's showing. So I think I could be able to get the 7K.
Oh yeah, I've experienced that with Indiegogo, with certain creators, and even on Kickstarter. And I usually I've contacted the creator and be like, look, I want to back this, and I want this, and this, but it's not letting my card go through. And usually I work something out. I go, give me the total with shipping and everything, and I'll PayPal you the money right now. And I usually, there's a lot of people that end up, doing that. That way they can't take a cut. And
I was thinking of doing that for people in Canada. There's a couple people in Canada. I feel bad that I can't get them to them because they're right there. And I was thinking maybe we can do exact shipping if they want to. So I don't lose any money and I don't make any money. It's just whatever it is cost plus whatever my comic cost, and then they pay me that like by PayPal outside of Indiegogo.
Yeah, it's it's a tricky slope with international stuff, but there's a lot of people working on workarounds for it because everybody wants comics. So
yeah, I feel bad. I know everybody wants a physical comic. Digital comics okay if you're like traveling or on a plane, or something like that, in a car ride. And you can read a comic book and you don't want to lag around real comic books with you. You can just have it on your phone. But other than that, it's a collector's market. It's a collector's industry or whatever. And everybody wants the actual. It's not the same without having it in your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm going to thank you once again for coming on, Justin. Good luck, and we'll definitely be in touch. And this project looks amazing, dude.
Thank you for having me on, and I'll keep you updated.
Awesome. We'll catch everybody next time on Creators Outlet.